If there was a social development disease, you wouldn't call it Asberger's. That's just mean.
I want to be buried under a Taco Bell. I want to have a Crunchwrap Supreme placed both in my mouth, ass, and hands as I do. I want to have a Crunchwrap Supreme placed both in my mouth, ass, and hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That's right, welcome back to another edition of SMB, a South Park Review. I, of course, am your host, I Can't Be Beat. I'm your guy who's high where the air is dry. Yeah, boy, MSG. You can follow us as a podcast by going to linktr.ee/SouthParkPod. While you're here, hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching it right here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this man likes to bring the pain in the digital marketing. Okay? This man is a writer. He's a producer. He's a director. He's an on-screen talent for Derby City Wrestling after 2 successful sold-out days at a free public library. I saw Zicky Dice hanging around. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. Dane Asberger.
Jeez, it's crazy. We were able to sell out 100 people shows, 200 people shows, 300 people shows, 400 people shows, and then 800 people shows. Multitudes of times, and we don't have a Netflix special. That's nuts, isn't it?
It's nuts. It's nuts.
So mean. Thank you. It was a great show. Zicky was there. The stars of AEW, WWE, and beyond, all showing up, all gave their best. 2 sold-out shows. The readings went well. The wrestlers were out there with Dr. Seuss books, kids galore. It was a great, safe, educational environment. Sponsored by the Louisville Public Library System. Go ahead and support them. And all you need to do is go and pick up a library card. No monetary support needed. They're there to help you.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you back, Dane. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, making his way back to the podcast, this man likes to run the sound as the batters run round. This man likes to serve up drinks. If, you got no, I don't know. I can't rhyme that. I was going off the top of my head. Ladies and gentlemen.
You only got 2 in the pink.
I don't serve drinks anymore either, so I can't do that.
This guy serves up drinks with 2 in the pinks. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for D-Train 3000.
What's going on, guys?
Sure, Darren, what up?
How's it been? It's good to be back on the show and not sitting behind just like a mouse and keyboard.
Yes,
and editing your beautiful faces.
Well, it was busy last week. We had 5 people already, so like you were the one who were like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be on the pod,
because I was going to be involved either way. So you gotta use the resources you got. Plus, the other guys are more entertaining in my opinion, anyways. I wouldn't watch me.
We need you, Derry Winkle.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Of course, shout out to the man who is the doctor of thugonomics, punkonomics, polyphonics, scooponomics, the 2022 Red Rock State 1 South Park Trivia Champion Trivia God. He is busy today, as I saw that they had a seminar today with Mr. Anderson. He was doing a seminar at Primo's Pro Wrestling, and I'm sure there's also probably doing a show tonight too. So I think he said he's busy with the show. So if you are listening to this later, check it out. Fight TV. You can sign up, primosprowrestling.net. Get all the shows there and say what's up to Joe Vernola. He'll be back in a couple weeks, as we're recording a couple weeks in advance, because I'm getting ready to move to the other side of the country. And you know what? I'm going to tell you here first on the podcast. Are you ready?
Oh, no.
You're the only ones that are going to know. Don't tweet this out. Don't put this on Facebook. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm moving to Connecticut. You're going to hear this on March the 27th. But I'm leaving on March the 31st. I'm moving to Connecticut. Okay, bye.
Oh, my God.
Bye-bye, Matt.
Bye-bye. I'm moving to Connecticut.
Adios.
Adios.
Connecticut at again? Isn't that like basically Canada?
Yeah.
Basically.
Also, shout out to the seat, that double OP, the Tombow, the Scoopster. All right, let's do this, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2. This is Asberger's. It is the 8th episode of season 15 and the 217th overall episode of South Park as it first aired on October the 5th, 2011.
Ooh.
This is SMB.
Oh, man.
220 people. We're there. We're like 200 or whatever, 420 there.
Oh, jeez. Stick around another 200 episodes, crowd, and we'll be able to make one joke about marijuana.
I hope that, like, if this podcast, I hope that, like, because they're in, you know, the seasons right now, they're in episodes like 300s and stuff like that. If they if they continue to go and they were to stop at 420, I would be okay with that. Don't want South Park to end.
It makes sense.
But if they stopped at 420, I'd be like, don't forget to bring it down.
Stop it, Matt. They need to keep going either way.
Don't forget to bring it down behind me. Don't forget to bring it down. Okay, so this episode is the second episode, the conclusion, the story that started in You're Getting Old. So the quick synopsis here is we're going to see a lot more of Cartman in this episode as he's going to find unique ways to cope with his Asperger syndrome. I'm using quotation marks here. As well as Kyle is going to help him explore business opportunities. On the flip side, Stan is going to go to like this nihilist, cynic group, but it's actually a cover for people who have Asperger's and who think that it's a big conspiracy. So we're going to explore both those plot lines in here and see how they interweave here as South Park brings this arc in this season to a conclusion. So here's how this episode begins. Continuing the events of You're Getting Old, Stan is kind of, sulking, sad. He's depressed over his parents getting divorced, right? And he wakes up in the morning, of course. His cynicism causes some frustration. Big hairy Mike in the morning. And then Stan goes to school, and people are kind of like asking questions or whatever. And then finally, in the middle of class, Stan is just like, will you shut the fuck up? Everyone, just shut the fuck up. So he gets sent to the counseling office, and it's at this point, don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be a Debbie Downer, okay? No one likes Debbie Downer. Don't be a Debbie Downer, okay? Debbie, okay, Debbie.
I mean, too much.
He keeps calling him Debbie.
That cynicism is right. Critical mass.
This is one of my favorite South Park lines. Ends up in the very background of that scene, though, with Butters. You mean I'm not burgers come out of my asshole?
You mean there's burgers coming out of my asshole?
That's exactly right, Butters. I'm really sorry.
That's true. That is true. So he goes, talks to Mackie. Mackie concludes, did we give Stan the vaccine for the Asperger shot? Oh, we did? Oh, no.
A vaccine for Asperger's?
Or the vaccine that's going to cause Asperger's, if you will. So basically, this is kind of South Park's, I guess, if you will, rhetoric, their comedic take on the outcry that was going on, and that still goes on to this day about vaccines, and how they, I don't think there's been conclusive evidence that the autism and Asperger's was from the vaccines, right?
Oh God, no.
I didn't think there was. Okay.
Never.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was actually the opposite of evidence. It was like such negative evidence that guy got his medical license revoked. He was fired from the hospital he worked at, and now he's shunned and disgraced, and all he can do is go to like conspiracy conventions and have strange Republican types give him money.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Dane Becker giving us the information. I appreciate it.
Andrew Wakefield.
Oh, okay.
Down with Andrew. All right, please continue.
I didn't know that yet. I was eye-opening there. So yes, as we've talked about there, the vaccines, Mr. Mackey, Asperger's, Stan freaking out a little bit. So we'll jump into our first clip here.
Great comedy. It's starring and I saw the movie last night. It made me laugh so hard.
I like how he lives next to Whistling Willie's now, because like with that cynicism, how much worse could that be?
In the morning, we'll talk more about it, but let's get to some music. The new Tween Wave band.
The new Tween Wave band, of course, as we just came off the last episode with the Randy shitting his britches. It's Steamy Ray Vaughan. He just shits his britches. No, that you're thinking of Stevie next. That's Steamy Rick. She just shits her britches. Those guys were arrested in the last episode because they were britches thieves.
Which I think is a little out of line because they were doing the heroic thing. They were, not all heroes wear capes, as they say.
I don't know. Let me be the antithesis to that, the donut operator of this conversation, if you will. That was technically a B&E.
A B&E, it was.
I don't know. B&E, and they stole something. I don't know if that's
It's a Robin Hood-esque situation.
It's a Robin Hood. It was stealing from the rich.
It's like the underpants gnomes. It's going to a good cause.
He was.
Profit.
Well, I don't know. Were they trying to get profit, or they were actually trying to save the britches?
Save the britches. I'm not sure they would give them away, but they probably think of goodwill.
Well, maybe that's why they got arrested. It was found out that they were part of the underpants gnome operation.
Oh, they were. Maybe they were recruits. They met the underpants gnome, and they were like, "Okay, well, now we know how to do it. So thank you for teaching us your operation."
They're the ringleaders.
Yeah. They convinced these two poor old guys that all they were trying to do is save all the abused britches of the world.
Yep.
And they're out there just trying to do justice, but they're helping a cartel of sorts.
That would be a great thing in the games if you fought those guys and they just take your armor in the middle of battle.
Okay.
Sounds like
excuse me. We got to do snow day first. Gotcha.
All right. So here's a Stan now eating breakfast.
Pile of shit.
Stanley, eat your waffles.
Ooh. Well, now they look good.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Stan. Good Lord, man. He's in it.
You don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah? I saw it on the news, Cal. The school is going to make us all get shots again. But this time it's
bus
we don't get bored tonight to Janice. Yep. That's only a vaccination for girls.
Now he's like the Craig type because now there's an adventure happening around him and he's just so passive to it.
Well, the thing, though, too, is they're not friends with him, right? So even though they're not friends with him, they still have to go to the same school bus stop, right? So they're still going to get picked up. And they're so not friends that he's not even part of this conversation that Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny are going to like, oh, yeah, heck yeah. And they're going to walk off and Stan's going to go to school.
They're literally going to have their own episode and he's just going to have a mental breakdown.
Why are they saying that getting vaccinated at school is going to make us all retarded? Because some people think vaccinations can give you autism or Asperger's. Wait, what? That's what they're talking about on the news. Wait, there's a disease called Asperger's?
Oh,
that's what he got from that, obviously.
That's what he got from it.
I had the same reaction the first time I heard the phrase. That's fair.
I mean, who didn't? It's like hearing Uranus. It's like, oh, okay, so you're going to change it to Uranus. It's pronounced Uranus.
You want to bet? Let's go ask my dad right now. Okay, you're on, Jim.
So they leave.
Literally skipping school to go ask if Asperger's is a real disease.
Well, the thing is, it's just like normal South Park shenanigans, right? Except Stan is now part of it now, right? So, of course, Stan gets on the bus. So now Stan's at school. And look here, as you can see, Cartman, Kyle, and Kenny are not there. So they are not currently present. But Stan here is in class.
And so, children, at noon today, all the girls will go to the gymnasium for their vaccinations, and boys will head on out to recess.
Do the girls get their shots right
I remember this.
No, Butters, that's not how it works. Mr. Garrett said these 3 boys were caught playing hooky.
Did you guys know there's actually a disease called Asperger's?
Sit down, boys. We'll talk about this later.
Butters.
Right now, we're talking about vaginal warts.
This isn't fair.
So Stan, of course, now sitting there depressed, sad. He's starting to hear all of this noise here in the background. And that is what ends up driving him. And Stan, of course, with Butters saying there's little hamburgers that come out of your butthole or whatever it says here.
Make us get vaccinated. You mean little hamburgers grow in your butthole?
Yep.
Butthole?
It is. You mean little hamburgers grow in your butthole?
As an audio person, I have to wonder what. So there's a lot of reverb happening in the audio. What are they trying to portray there?
Just like
he's
of his mind, you know, like he's all in the background.
Like
it's just weird because they're actually saying it. But I just bumped it. That's my bad.
I thought that too. I thought it was funny that it's literally the most basic reverb possible. That it's just like drag and drop because it does. It sounds like one of those cathedral hall settings.
Yeah. It was a bit confusing to me. That might be the first time I've ever questioned the sound designer's choices, but that's not even why I asked. I was actually wondering what they were really trying to portray with that.
Right.
But,
so I think
you answered it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what they're most, like I was saying, it's like, you know, if you've ever, I mean, I'm sure we've all had the experience of podcasts where you're just kind of feeling depressed and sad and you're just sitting somewhere in a public space. Sounds are kind of happening around you, but so you're like present, but you're not really present. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what that was emphasized. They're trying to emphasize here. Okay. And then it's when Stan now is going to come to, he's going to break because all the sounds are kind of bothering the crap.
I think I specifically didn't get it because it's not how I would have done it.
For sure.
But it does make sense.
There you go. So here we go.
Oh, I don't want burglars coming out of my butt. God, shut up! Everyone just shut the fuck up!
Everybody caught that heat except Timmy, who doesn't care.
We've all felt that way too. We've all felt that way. Come on.
I don't want burgers coming out of my butt.
Oh, who hasn't actually done that? Audience knows what this is. This is not a nervous breakdown. It doesn't even have to be a mental breakdown. But who hasn't had enough shit where it's like you're creating shit, your filter is shit, everything's coming through as shit, and you just fucking flip lid. You're getting bullied at school. You're sitting with a group of losers. You're bullying a group of losers, and they're not listening to you. You know, whatever it might be. We've all been here.
We've all been here. That is factual. So now, as I mentioned, Stan's going to get sent to the counseling office here to talk to Mr. Mankey.
I know that's bad. But when you walk around all mopey, okay, and saying everything is just shitty, well, that's called being a Debbie Downer, Stan.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a Debbie Downer. Okay.
No, this is real good clinical work.
I mean, you gotta snap out of it, Debbie.
Yeah, I know. As someone who's gone to like counseling as well, I'm sure all of us have experienced one way or another. You're like, this is not very fucking like helpful.
And like school counselors are always the worst. And I know it's like a cliche, but in terms of education, there's a lot of cliches that are true. And that's one of them. My school counselor in middle school was literally like this fucking stupid, didn't actually do anything, gave you the chin up cowboy bullshit. And I think the best thing you got out of it was like you could skip a period, and I think he had candy.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had one good school counselor looking over. In fact, like the only time I would say like I maybe had one good school counselor was when I was I think I was like a sophomore in high school, and I was getting like straight A's in all of my classes except for math. So I went in there to ask if I could change my classes, and there was another kid in there too. This counselor was like, "Get out of my office. You're a fucking horrible student. You blah, blah, blah." And then I walk in and I was just like, yeah, I'm really having a problem with this math teacher. And then she looked at me, "Oh, no problem, sweetie. Let me go ahead and I'll switch you out to another class." And so like, that's really the only time I had a positive experience with a counselor. Otherwise, they just kind of like shoo you away. Or they really just kind of talk in like cliches or like self-help book analogies that my dad already like had me reading. So I was just like, whatever, dude. Like I fucking read Carnegie in a self-help book. Go fuck yourself.
I had to move all the way outside of the mainland United States to ever have a good school counselor. And her husband turned out was on SEAL Team 6. So I'm like, okay, of course she was cool then. Like
SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, it was. Well, obviously we didn't know that. I don't even think she knew that up until some of them passed
like
away.
Personally,
and her husband was one of them, unfortunately. And that's how we all found out that's what he was doing. But as far as I knew, they weren't even allowed to tell their own families they were part of that. At least what they're operating.
Secret group of mercenaries.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say, and if you picked her, she's probably badass. But I gotta say, in this scene, it's funny. I was distracted the entire time just because it annoys me that I can't hear that box fan. You guys have had a box fan, right? That thing would be ripping.
That's true. That is true. Well, you know what? Matt Stone and Trey Parker used the denoise effect to get rid of the background.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, while they were recording the dialogue. Yeah, you got it.
Exactly.
While the boom mic was there.
Come on, Dad. You're even bumming me out now. Okay. Your attitude just sucks.
Actually, there is a fan sound.
Everything to go back to the way
there is kind of a sound.
Okay, well, that's not.
There was a little bit there.
I hear it. Sounds like a piano.
Life has to change.
Well, there was a little bit there between like the dead air and then the piano itself.
Where you're trying to diagnose whether or not they did a good enough job on it.
Right.
When all the things that made you laugh just make you sick, how do you go on when nothing makes you happy?
It's pretty dark.
Huh. Excuse me a minute, Stan.
I actually don't have an answer to this question.
Hi, Miss Bronsky. Did we vaccinate Stan Marsh for the flu last year?
No.
We did.
Uh-oh.
Stan, your issues are you're autistic. Okay.
So it's at this point that Stan learns he has, well, actually, I'm sorry, let me take this. Stan is mistakenly diagnosed, I should say, with Asperger's syndrome because he's received a flu vaccination a year earlier. He's taken to the Asperger's Research Center, and then it's there that he learns that it's a front for cynical, self-anointed freedom fighters called the Secret Society of Cynics, who believe the world has literally turned into shit, and then some kind of supernatural force or aliens or whatever fuck you is preventing the rest of the world.
Yeah, and then for some reason they're all portrayed as characters from the Matrix.
Yeah.
I guess guys that think that this is simulation and cynics is like a Venn diagram that's just essentially a wheel.
I was watching the episode a couple nights ago and pointed that out. I'm like,
because like
hysterical that they're dressed up like they're from the Matrix.
Yeah, like the notable people that don't think the Matrix is just a movie, like Elon Musk, a horrible cynic, absolute douchebag. I see it.
Isn't that the movie with the guy from Cyberpunk?
Oh, dude, it is. Neo Silverhand, bro. Come to Embers. No, seriously, come to Embers.
What the kids are gonna say is that movie has the guy from Cyberpunk.
Hey, I'd be fine with that. Cyberpunk kicks ass. I'm like, yeah, and Idris Elba is the other guy from Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, and you know, bringing that up here, you guys talk about, you know, the Morpheus and the Matrix. There, prior to Stan going to that, or what leads up to it, is there's a news report, right, talking about how the first ever vaccine that led to Asperger's has happened. There's Stan's bill. Randy's kind of freaking out. Oh, now my kid's got Asperger's. Probably what led to my wife and my divorce.
Yeah, that was it. And a way to blame your son again.
Right.
Good job, Randy. And this just continues on.
I mean, well, as we found out in the episode of where he takes the biggest crap. This is something I made that came from me.
The most important thing I've ever made.
And Stan stayed right there. Thanks, Dad. And the Randy goes, "You're welcome." So, I mean,
absolutely.
It's been proven, I think, that Randy is very selfish in that regard, right?
One thing I created that actually matters. And then he does it again, of course, in the future as well.
Right, exactly. And while this is going on now, Cartman, upon learning there is a condition called Asperger's, thinking it's actual Asperger's due to Kyle's mispronunciation of it, not Asperger's. He attempts to fake the illness of school by stuffing his underwear with hamburgers. So let's go ahead.
Oh my God, I've got Asperger's.
Oh my God. Are you saying I have Asperger's?
One of Cartman's cleanest moves.
If you could just go ahead and notate my on your chart.
I love that she plays I can't remember what it's called in an acting scene. And Matt, you'll have to figure this one out for me, Mr. Actor. The character that plays the real life person that's looking in at the TV show characters, like,
she's breaking the fourth wall.
What the fuck are they doing?
Breaking the fourth wall.
It's supposed to seem like yeah, that's what they're doing. But there's like a niche name for this type of character in a script, and I cannot for the life of me remember.
Like a Greek chorus.
I think we'd have to look it up. But either way,
I'm not even sure what you're talking about right now.
The nurse plays that in this. So the characters in a show are obviously doing absurd things that you probably wouldn't see in the real world. And you have a character that you cast that's supposed to be looking at these characters like they're just not having it. Like, what the fuck is this person doing? Like a real life person would react if they saw someone do this in real life. Like, what in the fuck? Instead of reacting, oh no, that's not going to work here, kid. You got to go. She's just like,
Are you asking, like, I mean, no. I guess, like, what style of acting that would be? I mean,
there's a name for it. I'd have to look it up, but I'm not going to spend the time doing that in the middle of your show. But
yeah, and if I go on TV tropes, I'm going to be there for like 6 hours.
There's a very specific word for like inserting this type of character blank.
Well, I mean,
word I'm looking for into a scene.
I mean, all I can think of right now is you're maybe talking about like, and Dane, you correct me if I'm wrong, maybe like Meisner, right? Because that's emotional preparation to create realistic performances with deep emotional connection. So that'd be like a real person. So that's the only thing that I could think if you're talking about as far as the technique is concerned. And then if a person
that would be the technique, yeah, that would be the technique that this person that this person's using, which I didn't know, but you did just describe it perfectly. But then there's it must not be an official term. It's just broadly used apparently in Hollywood to describe a character that's supposed to seem more like a real life person is looking at these TV show characters like, what the fuck,
I mean,
what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like how they look at Cartman when he goes across the stage with his little penis. They all turn into that character. They're all looking at him like, the fuck is this kid doing?
Yeah, like, I mean, I would think like maybe from like a media standpoint, it would be easier just to say, hey, this character seems more realistic and the realistic style of acting versus kind of going to the backstory and trying to understand and explain who Meisner is and what it's all about, if you will. Meisner's hard. I've only taken it.
Meisner's difficult
once,
especially once you start just like, okay, it's 2 chairs and you're sitting across from each other and it's just like you guys are asking each other one sentence basic questions and then building on that, and your prompt to start with is, why do you have a red shirt on? It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here, dude?
The thing about Meisner too is like you have to have a good teacher realistically for the Meisner technique, because the acting coach needs to know who you are, and then they place you in specific roles that will be advantageous to who you are and what character you can type of play, versus just going to a regular acting coach and saying, here's some scenes, let's act them out.
Yeah, let's do some Meisner. It's like, nah, dude, it's like a series of exercises that are just like, they seem simplistic, but they're like the most dramatically complicated. Like they involve improvisation, emotion, and like it's usually limited to like a few words, or like
sometimes you're working the same scene for months and months at a time, just that one scene over and over and over, hammering it.
And they're not even giving you like a big scene. They're giving you like the conversation on the bench and barefoot in the park. I'm like, dude, this was like 3 pages. It's like, can we move on? It's like, no, not until I believe that you're barefoot in this park.
Well, hey, speaking of moving on and seeing if anybody's getting barefoot in the park.
Oh, shut up, bitch.
Let's find out about the Asperger syndrome.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
The media heard from the young boy's father, Steamy Ray Vaughan. It's pretty shitty when you work so hard to be a great parent, and then the government comes along and with one shot turns your child into a mentally incapacitated freak. I mean, look at him. He's disinterested, depressed, self-loathing. It's most likely the reason his mother and I got divorced.
That must be it. He's literally the worst person in the world. Is Randy worse than Cartman? No, but man, is he a good second. Not a close second, but a very strong one.
I forgot about this part. This is Stan now. He's going to go get the bill signed because it's called Stan's bill, and he meets the president, but he still sees the president as a duck.
The president of the United States has passed Stan's bill, putting an end to mandated school vaccinations. Mr. President, the bill is ready.
It quacks on it.
Just sign right here, Mr. President.
And he spits out crap.
And if you could just sign this one as well, Mr. President.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now they're covered in feces as I take this picture.
I'm not even making a political joke, but does anyone else get Joe Biden vibes from that duck that shits out of its mouth?
I don't know. I think it was just more of like they were talking in general. All presidents maybe shit out their mouth, right?
No, that duck has like a Joe Biden aura to it. Look how it looks. Look how it's standing. Telling you.
It just looks like a duck to me, dude.
Yeah, maybe that's your cynicism talking.
That's not my cynicism. That's your cynicism. You must not like Joe Biden enough that you have to appropriate a fucking duck from a 10-year-old fucking episode of South Park to the current president of the United States.
You're damn right. This is appropriation. What'd you say, Darren?
He said appropriate. So I said duck appropriation.
Duck appropriation.
In this group, more like cuck appropriation.
Well, you're the one. You'll be the one. I'm not the cuck. I'm just here.
All right, so I figured it out, though. It's called an audience surrogate. It's supposed to be a character inserted into a scene to make the audience feel like they can relate to this person, as this person's also looking at the TV show as it's just as absurd as the audience feels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know what you're saying now. Yeah,
that's when the teacher starts looking at you, Matt, and then she starts judging you based on your character and not like you as a person making a character.
Yeah, that was his nurse. Yeah, she was just like not having it. Just hey, no,
we're not there yet.
No, like dude, I'm not. That's who I was talking about.
Yeah. All right. Well, we all learned a little something today. You, me, and the folks at home.
And the clip.
And the clit.
I said, and the clip. Let's see what Cartman's got cooking up here with the burgers.
And the clip. Oh.
Eric, what is it this time?
Fever, lightheadedness. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You don't feel warm.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought maybe I had a fever, but
my buns.
My buns. Stop pain in my buns.
Can you sit on your stomach?
My buns.
I'll
try. Now she's like,
what is this? A hamburger?
Oh, what?
I like how it was completely wrapped.
Yeah, like he wrapped it up there.
Yeah.
The best is like, I don't know if you noticed, but because we're talking about breaking the fourth wall earlier, Cartman does kind of look at the camera. Oh, what?
Yeah, right.
Why are there hamburgers in your underwear?
Are you serious? How could there be? Oh my God!
Right there. See? Oh my God. Like he's looking at you.
Yeah.
Right at us.
Well, and then she starts acting like a real person would act in this scenario pretty soon here.
You're saying I have
The
Asperger's?
animation director is
This
genius.
doesn't make sense. Are you trying to sneak food into the school or something?
What are you talking about? I got vaccinated from the school, and now clearly I have Asperger's.
Very funny.
Well, I'm glad you think Asperger's is funny. Just note my condition on your records there.
Just don't make it on your record.
Right a damn tea.
Dude, he's still sprawled up here, buns in her face though, too, even without the burgers.
It literally looks like she's talking to the inside of his asshole.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
What's the end game here?
I mean,
though?
she's pulling burgers out there.
That's fair. That's fair. And hopefully she's going to eat a couple.
right?
What
Yeah,
is the
he broke the fourth wall is what you said, and then she gazed into the third hole.
Yeah.
Oh, his
good.
winking eye.
And the weekend eye. Yeah.
The third eye, sorry.
The brown-eyed girl.
What is
Oh.
and that's what that song was about.
Brown-eyed
Anal.
girl.
It was.
What is the end game here? Why Cartman thought Asperger sounded funny, but now he needs it? What does he think it's going to get him out of school?
I think his thought process was Stan got Asperger's and he got famous and he got his own bill and he got to go meet the president. So Stan's probably not going to capitalize on that. But if Cartman can be the second kid, now he can sue the thing, go on a talk show, go on Dr. Phil, and maybe get himself an iPad. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like he's going to capitalize on it.
Remember
Yeah.
Stan opening his presents and Cartman needing to open presents with him?
That's
This
what I'm
is a
saying.
similar thing.
This is a similar situation.
Cartman needing to open his
Aaron?
present too.
Ooh, that's a
That's
spicy
what's going
take.
on.
And I would say that Darren's not only right, that's HIV positive, right?
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
HIV
I
positive.
knew that was coming.
So following this, now Cartman runs out or he walks out of the nursing office and he's like, And then at this point, while he's walking to the hallway, Kyle is having a conversation with Wendy. Wendy's, of course, going through her own trials and tribulations because her boyfriend now is, a cynical asshole. And she's trying to tell Kyle to go talk to him. And Kyle's like, dude, I can't do it. He's an asshole. I don't want to hang out with him. From here on out, I'm going to embrace the very next thing that happens. Cartman walks up. And it's at this point, Kyle learns that Cartman has made some burgers, doesn't know it was actually sitting in his underwear the whole time, takes a bite out of the burger and is like, wow, this is really good.
I would love a burger right now even if it was from Cartman's ass. Also, guys, be honest, and in the audience at home too. Would you guys try an Asperger? Look at how people are reacting. Would you guys try an Asperger knowing what you do?
If I knew it was coming from someone's ass, I would be positive that it didn't taste good.
All right. Well,
in the
maybe
real
it's
world,
homosexual.
does a Cartman burger sound like it could probably be good because someone should start a Cartman burger restaurant? Yes, absolutely.
Like air fried and infused with like 9 different restaurant flavors.
I'll do that, but it better not be hanging out in anybody's underwear.
Come
Yeah.
on. All right. I can't be that much of a gay to not care about burgers being on ass
think
as
you are that
well.
one.
We're
Once again.
still in the real world, and I'd still not eat a
Damn
burger off
it.
of someone's ass. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's what I call a sticky situation.
Then again, you got plenty of people that eat ass, so like they would. They would definitely. They have no problem.
Yeah.
It's like I've had worse.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big sloppy
And more
Joe
power to
fan,
them.
so I mean,
Are you? Wait, I don't know if I don't know if that was like meant to be like I don't eat ass, and that's just your way of saying it. I don't eat sloppy Joe, or
Sloppy Joe. Yeah.
Both.
Sloppy Joe is when she's on that,
all of it.
you get the meat and you get the sauce. That was
All of it.
disgusting.
All of it. Not a big loose meat fan.
I'm not a big loose meat fan.
That's it. Not a big loose meat fan.
What?
Well, what is a looser meat? Sloppy Joe or Angry Joe?
Definitely Angry Joe, especially after he got
I don't
his
know.
asshole slammed by Jeff.
Matt's like
Keighley.
I don't fucking watch the guy. I don't know.
No, I could talk about those guys for years.
No, but
Jesus.
where are we going, Matt?
I'm trying. I don't know. You guys, if you want to talk more about Angry Joe, let me know.
Nope,
I mean,
we're good.
No. We can turn this into the Angry Joe.
You're good. I will
reaction
cut out this
podcast.
little tidbit about Angry Joe.
No,
and
we gotta
get
talk
right to the
about
next thing
Little
you're
Joe.
doing.
We got to talk about how he made his brother a slave to his nonsense. Okay.
I'll go over
to his house together. That way we could...
No, I can't, Wendy.
Ooh.
All his negativity is starting to make me depressed. I have to let him go. And whatever happens next, I'm going to embrace with a totally positive attitude.
Here comes Cartman now.
Damn stupid school nurse. Heartless bitch. What's the matter, dude?
So Cartman's holding all of his hamburgers that he got back.
All individual. Does he think that Asperger's just wraps them too? Why would you wrap them? He's got like 11 burgers in his pants, and he cooked them. He put condiments on them. Why would you just dress them all up?
I love the little things that every different person that you have on here, Matt, notices about scenes like that. I never thought about how funny the fact that he wrapped them is. Like that. I didn't even think about it, but it's like, yeah, why would you wrap them?
Why would you wrap them? That's a good point, Dane. That's a great point. And then he takes them back. The nurse didn't throw it away and also let him take back his hamburgers. That's funny.
I spent all morning making hamburgers for nothing. That's what's the matter. You made hamburgers? Well, that's awesome. I love one.
Why? And he's so nice. Why do you do this?
Well, they're all wrapped in different colors too.
Really good, Cartman. Really? Yeah.
Pretty
Hey,
patties.
Riley, try this hamburger. Cartman made them.
Oh, that one was already kind of open. That was the one that like touched his ass. Stop.
Seriously, Cartman, you can make money with these. Gee, thanks, Cal.
Come on, guys. They're that immediately good. Like one bite, and you're already telling them that you could make money. Like you
wait,
you
yeah. If something tastes
right?
that good, you know immediately. That's the thing about food.
And you guys would need it. Like, okay, here's the argument. You go to a restaurant, right? There's some dirty ass restaurants out there. How do you know where you're getting your food at Taco Bell? Yet you won't eat a food item that you know comes from a kind of nasty place, but it tastes really good. Come on.
I still make my first judgment after the first bite.
Same thing.
I still make my first judgment. I still make my judgment after the first bite.
All right. Well, then go have an Asberger and have yourself a time. Matt, what do you got?
When I go to Taco Bell, I can see them making the food, so nobody's putting my tacos.
See them making the food. Yeah, it's like saying that I watched a magic trick happen and they're just like slapping shit.
Well, I mean,
why are we throwing Taco Bell under the bus?
They have the same. Yeah, why are we throwing Taco Bell under the bus?
Taco Bell did a lot to go from the bottom of the tier list of like healthy fast food and like clean fast food places to now like the top. Like, let's not throw them back.
Yeah, Darren, what the fuck are you talking about? They started at the bottom and they started digging. Like,
they're one of the cleanest, and yeah, they had to switch it up quick.
I LA Noir this
and had to switch it up quick. They're not healthy by any means. You're still going to be shitting your britches.
It is my favorite fast food restaurant in the world. I want to be buried under a Taco Bell. I want to have a Crunchwrap Supreme placed both in my mouth, ass, and hands as I do. But at the same time, I'm like, that's not even beef. That's like brown plastic.
No. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying as far as the fast food places goes, they're towards the top of that list. Now, this has nothing to do with South Park. So
no. I want to be buried under a Taco Bell. I want to have a Crunchwrap Supreme placed both in my mouth, ass, and hands as I do. We're talking about Asperger's. We're talking about cleanliness. We're talking about meat. That's all I got. MSG.
So here's Stan now at the research center as him and Sharon, they arrive. They're also you're going to see some of the other individuals who have Asperger's or different type of mental disabilities displayed.
Marsh, all our patients here show the same social awkwardness that your son.
Okay, this guy has Asperger's, and I guess he's blowing bubbles out of his ass.
Doctor.
Oh, okay.
It's as if they all have an inability to distinguish from what is
socially acceptable. This guy's peeing on the wall, and then he pees on Stan.
We've got a new patient, Martin. I want you to meet Stan.
Nice to meet you.
Here at the treatment center,
American
our
Horror
focus is on
Story.
awareness. Asperger's is serious, but unfortunately, because of its name, people think it's a disease to be made fun of.
So now, when they walk in, everybody's kind of...
Okay, this is not what Asperger's is?
No, everybody's freaking out, pretending that they actually have it.
I said this was fucked up at first until I finished the scene.
Oh my God, I forgot.
I did too.
So Sharon is, of course, forced to leave. As soon as she leaves, they all stop acting. They all stop pretending.
All right, are we clear? We're clear.
Yeah.
Before they do anything, they get on their leather jackets and sunglasses.
Everyone make sure this room isn't bugged. All right, Stan, listen up. We don't have a lot of time. You've been told Asperger's is real. It isn't. It's just a front that we use to stay hidden.
Wait, it's not a real illness?
Of course not. If there was a social development disease, you wouldn't call it Asperger's. That's just mean.
That is the truest statement.
Oh my gosh! So then now they kind of go over Asperger's itself.
There's a big war going on out there, Stan, and we want you to join our fight to bring it all down.
Oh, no. We're not doing this.
You've broken through their reality, and they don't like it. Others deserve to know the truth. You see everything as shit, don't you? Where other people see fun movies and hear cool music, all you see and hear is shit. Am I right?
Yeah.
So do we. All of us here. We know the truth, too. We found a way to make it stop, Stan. Now, are you interested or not?
Are you interested or not?
Quick pause.
I would be immediately like, no.
We see here in the next scene now, Stan and Kyle have decided to start Cartman Burger, right, Dane? So like they started their own business, and it looks like it's right outside Stan's house, or sorry, Cartman's house as well. And but he has, of course, the secret recipe. Now, the secret recipe is his fart, or the burgers in his trousers. So he's going to go into this secret last process, Bruce, so that way he can, grab the burgers out of his britches.
Dude, come on, Cartman. As employees, don't you think we should get to see
Literally a box that says secret last process booth private.
our patented flavor will be everywhere, and we'll have to go back to school. Now, let me get those hamburgers.
Now, he doesn't notice all these hamburgers here, Dane, just like hanging in his trousers.
Yeah, like Cartman's loaded up with like a deck of 20, and he's like scooting his ass. It's like when you just jerk off and your pants are around your ankles, you got penguin walk over to the rag. That's what Cartman is doing, but he's got 20 hamburgers in his asshole. And Kyle doesn't think anything of this.
I've never experienced having to walk over. I mean, I usually just prepare, right? You bring something with you.
God, no. When the moment strikes, my friend, you just do it right then and there.
Oh, boy. Well, here's Cartman's moment striking. Comes out with the burgers.
All right, these are good to go.
Why would Kyle not assume that he's doing something absolutely disgusting,
I don't know.
horrible in there?
Based on their previous history, that's a good point, Dane. Why would he just not assume that Cartman is doing disgusting, deceptive, or he's somehow lying to now make money? Because that's what Cartman does best.
Kyle's too good of a heart, man. He's given Cartman too many chances. He even does that in the future when they're adults. He's like, all right, I'll believe you again. It's like, dude, you've been doing this for like 30 years.
Right? That's so true. That is so true. Well, someone else who's trying to believe this now, that being his Asperger syndrome, he's going to get told a story in regards to, the front for their society, and they're going to send him back into the Matrix, which basically includes getting Stan drunk off of Jameson.
Yep.
All right, is he ready to be sent in? He's ready. Beta levels are normal.
Who are you people?
We are the secret society of cynics. Everything looks like shit to you, right? What if I were to tell you that you're seeing the world the way it actually is?
Huh?
So apparently the world, Dane, is actually shitty. Would you agree or disagree?
No, I'm too much of an optimist. I don't think it's shit. I mean, the Matrix exists. They're cosplaying the Matrix. How shitty can the world be when like your entire life is based around, I don't know, Keanu Reeves flying through the air?
Keanu Reeves. We present you with this Keanu Reeves golden statue. Congratulations.
The world around us has all completely turned to shit. But aliens are putting out a brainwave that keeps most
Whatever,
people
fuck you.
a false reality.
Aliens?
Or robots from the future, whatever. The point is they need to keep everyone in a blissful state of ignorance.
Yeah, everything used to be awesome and cool, but now everything's gone to shit,
Zits,
and nobody
tons of
knows except
fucking
us.
Yeah.
Wristbands, yeah.
Because of aliens?
Or genetically altered humans, whatever, fuck you.
Or whatever, fuck you. You'll believe it anyway.
Yeah, just film writing at this point.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Whatever, fuck you. So, as I mentioned, to take Stan back in, they're going to send him back. They're going to pour him a glass of Jameson here.
That's how you dial in. That's how you get out of it.
Drink this. So now Stan leaves, and of course Stan buzzed. Sees everything happy.
Oh, cool.
It's like he walked out. Like when he walked outside, all I could think of that song is like, I think I'll go for a walk outside.
Yeah, literally, it's like Spider-Man 2. I just quit the mask and now I'm happy as can be. Except
everybody's watching Sunshiny Day.
Yeah. He's Brady Bunching, but instead of like a close knit family, all he did was Gene Jameson. Yeah.
So now he's gonna go see those Adam Sandler movies.
Jill, you got a date with Al Pacino?
Adam Sandler's
wants to play Twister with your sister.
Adam Sandler's funny.
Hey, that's literally a scene from that movie, verbatim.
I don't know. I've never seen Jack and Jill.
Don't.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. In my legal opinion, no, in my normal opinion, I'm pretty sure that movie is a dark scam. Adam Sandler just wanted to go to Hawaii for a while, so he did like a bunch of crappy movies that paid him to go places. Jack and Jill literally looks like it's a money sink. It literally looks like something the Italian mafia would do to clean cash.
Adam Sandler in like maybe he like meets a girl and
and then the girl ends up to be a dog.
And
yeah, cool. We can call it Good Lassie.
We can call it Good Lassie.
We give him a remote. And guess what?
We give him a
Hey, that was the best thing Cartman came up with was Click.
Was Click?
Yeah. Have you not seen Click?
What?
Matt, have you seen Click?
Have you seen Click?
Oh, with Adam Sandler with the remote thing? Yeah.
Man, that makes me cry every time.
Jack my balls, Kyle.
Like that bad guy.
There it is.
So here's here's Cartman and Kyle at Cartman Burger as Stan shows up drunk.
Here's Osimo.
Cartman Burgers for what? $5?
Stan? Kyle! Hey, Stan. Dude, I'm sorry. I've been a shitty friend. I miss my buddy. You were right. Adam Sandler is fucking hysterical. Stan, are you all right? Yeah, dude, I totally get it now. I can see how lame I was, saying everything was shit.
He's all drunk and shit.
Absolutely plastered.
Oh, we've all been here when you show up at your
Oh my God. Especially on Jameson, you just get real sentimental.
It looks like Dan. He looks like Dan after any wrestling match.
Oh my God. Absolutely. You throw my ass through a table or you just make me work at all? Oh my God.
Jane can attest to this. When I get drunk, I get very happy and I send video messages to people telling them how much I love them. I just want to let you know I love you.
Yeah, one time, Matt, he sent me lots of great messages, but one time he took a drunk video of him having his first White Claws, and it's probably the greatest thing I've ever been seen.
I think I might have gotten a video that night too. I did. I did too.
It's great.
I do remember this.
Matt's first White Claw. Once I get my ultrasound baby photos, Matt's White Claw video is still going to be the top thing I've ever been given.
Yeah, when I get drunk, I just send nice video messages to people. I just want to let you know.
Did you get the message the next day that said he wasn't ever going to have White Claw again?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. See, yep.
Oh, I got alcohol poisoning or something. I was throwing up all day.
Really? Stan, that's great. But Kyle, it's all shit. For reals. Everything's shit because of aliens with AI and you and me are going to fuck it all up. Come on. Dude, have you been drinking? You're not listening to me, Kyle. Dude, we have to go do this one thing and then everything can go back to normal. It's too late for that. I'm with Cartman Burger now.
Stan's response here.
I'm with Cartman Burger now. You can see Cartman noticing this in the back.
Cartman Burger now. Dude, Cartman Burger, seriously? How shitty is that fucking concept?
Is that fucking concept?
I'll say that fucking concept. Now Cartman comes over like a boss.
See, there you go.
Wiping his hands of Asberger.
Everything all right here?
Everything all right, good?
Yeah, it's fine.
We're gonna need some more patties pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll be right there. Come on, Kyle. This is about you and me, remember? Look, dude, things around here have changed. Sometimes the only way to keep going is to make a left turn.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Kyle. You're a piece of shit.
Wait, come back.
Kyle, I love you.
I love you. But you're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit, though. Fuck you.
And he turns right back around. Kyle gave him another chance.
I love you.
I love you.
I don't. Involvement in the dating scene is like, but you know, when your partner, if you've been with someone for a long time, gets super drunk, and they get like mad about, that's it right there. I love you.
If they're the angry type, if they do that too many times, though, it's abusive.
Yeah. But that's what you're getting there.
That is good to know.
That's no joke. What like a woman from New Jersey is like when she gets drunk, especially if you're dating her.
Okay, thanks. I'll look out for that and make sure.
Yeah, no, things are not the same out here as they are in like. New
I don't
Jersey and like Chicago and.
I mean, I don't drink in general.
Women getting drunk, they will do that and then also hit you.
Have you ever dated a woman from the Midwest?
I mean, I don't drink in general, so I'll probably I'm not gonna go out to bars to meet women anyway. So it's probably something I ever want to have to avoid.
That's right. Matt goes to bathhouses to meet his women.
Not you. You're describing your weekend. Not me.
He goes on Tinder like a normal person.
Matt was really quick with that.
That was you.
He's like, no, you go find your women in bathhouse.
That's not me. That's you, buddy. I wish there was a co-ed. If there was a co-ed bathroom where I could go find women in a bathhouse. Wait, that's called a porn place where they're hanging out in the back.
It's called Porky's 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's called.
That's where you'll most likely meet Danny DeVito.
That's where you'll bet there. Oh, shout out to Zorba's. There's a Zorba's here in Scottsdale with the back house, $5. Who knows what's going on back there? But you can get an hour.
No free promo. No free promo.
You get a room for like 30 minutes, and you keep that room unlocked and see what happens.
How much pay you for that spot?
I paid me about $25 in a condom.
They paid me with experience.
Paid me with experience. Yeah, exactly. Band experience.
$50 for the old Kenny Baker.
I got experience bucks there. Thanks. Appreciate that.
I collect baseball cards, but now I'm wondering, is there a Ron Jeremy card out there, limited edition?
There would have to be. I mean, it's probably worth a lot more now that he's in jail.
Yeah.
So the next day,
Shohei Ohtani.
Back to the episode. The next day, Stan returns to the Asberger Center and is once again pilled with whiskey. This time, though, he's sent armed to a secret meeting being attended by corporate representatives of America's most popular fast food chains who have lost business due to the popularity of Cartman Burger, which they theorize is due to the fact that all of their ingredients from all their products have been converted into a gas that is then infused into the food, which is actually correct.
It is actually accurate.
That is accurate. So Stan arrives and loses consciousness from all the alcohol. And then when he wakes up, he's woken up to being tied up to, and he's interrogated, believing that he was sent by Cartman Burger. However, he's like, I wasn't sent here. They recognize him as Kyle's friend, and they basically tell him that, you have to go and find out the secret ingredient. Of Cartman Burger, exactly. So let's jump back here into the Asperger syndrome when they're talking to him. Did you see The Matrix? What was it like? Blah 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 blah. Whatever, fuck you. You'll watch it anyway.
Robot aliens.
Whatever, watch it anyway.
Yeah, fuck you. You'll watch it anyway.
Try and focus, Stan. We found them. We know where the rock creatures are now.
Rock creatures.
Or aliens or AI things. Whatever. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Dude, I can't do any.
He's gonna pop.
Hungover.
And he vomited.
Come on, kid. Wake up. There's not a lot of time left. You're pushing him too hard.
Oh, God.
Stan, you have to convince people they're living in a world of illusion. We're sending you back in.
Why just stand?
They explain that the reason why it's Stan is because they've seen them before. So it sounds like these crazy people, the secret society of cynics, have tried to do something before. So they'll see them coming. So they got to use Stan, the kid. And of course, Stan is also popular with Stan's bill. So he could probably get away, I'm assuming, with doing certain things.
Yeah, so it's all linked to his celebritydom.
Yeah, exactly. So now they are using a giant bottle of Jameson Irish whiskey, and they are going to shove it down Stan's throat. Kind of like, this actually kind of reminds me of Butters. Remember when he got the giant dildo put in his butt? But this is in reverse. This is the other hole.
Hey, that was for medical practice. Oh my God, that's way too much Jameson.
So now, as I mentioned, here's the secret corporate society of all the top 7 Taco Bell, KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Carl's Jr., whatever food chain.
There's a rebellion in our midst, and it must be squashed out.
All right, who we got?
To an end.
McDonald's.
Cartman Burgers.
Okay.
Yes, what do we go? At
KFC, Burger King.
See, we've seen a 50% drop in
KFC
sales.
looks accurate.
Where's it?
We've got Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Cartman Burgers choked out the market.
So, okay, so we've got, let's see, we got Pizza Hut, Burger King, KFC, McDonald's. And then I'm not sure what.
What the fuck are these 3? What is that, Popeyes? What the fuck is going on here?
Maybe.
Is one of them Chick-fil-A?
Oh, that'd be great.
Makes them so.
Oh, Subway is probably the green.
Yeah,
Now that I'm thinking
Subway's
about
the biggest fast food chain in the world, so
It's probably
probably.
Subway.
Good. For whatever reason, these Cartman burgers satisfy the taste cravings for all of our restaurants. There lies the secret.
Oh, here we go. So now we got Pizza Hut, Burger King, Subway. You were right. That is a Chick-fil-A, I think.
Why City
I think
Walk
it is.
on there? Oh my.
A City Walk. Well, because
City Walk is on.
He eats there too.
Yeah, that's Chick-fil-A. So it's
Oh, it is
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A,
Right
City
on
Walk,
two counts. Chick-fil-A
KFC,
and Subway.
McDonald's, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Burger King, and Subway.
We're Americans. We know our fast foods.
That's right.
Oh, I'm hungry.
So the question is, I guess you guys are right. The chicken is the Chick-fil-A. Got it.
Who
Okay.
is Mysterion?
I just like chicken and immediately Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's true because they're always talking about
It's the chemical compounds of all our flavors. Pizza Hut, Burger King, KFC, all somehow infused into one burger.
It's as if he's somehow.
They've got it like scientifically broken down here.
I mean, they're right.
They are right.
They're right.
all
Yeah.
the ingredients of our food, breaking them down into some kind of gas, and then somehow infusing that gas into his hamburger. What kind of instrument could he be using to do this?
His ass. He's using his ass.
Yeah.
It's on the molecular level. Look.
It is. It is. Now the question really is, now Dane brought it up, so this is I wanted to wait till I get here before I pose the question. Now you talked about actually eating it, and again I wouldn't eat it, but would this actually work if someone were to, I don't know, eat a bunch of fast food into one day, hold their farts for a little bit, then fart into some sort of jar to collect them. Then after collecting said jar, put a hamburger in the jar. Do you think you could infuse said, flavor enhancers that you've had throughout the day? Dane, go ahead.
A man can dream, but I don't think that dream can become a reality, not with the current technology that we have. But if there is some way to create some sort of aerosol, sort of almost like what Crane had in the first Batman movie by Christopher Nolan's Scarecrow, you'd have to have something like that like does something on the molecular level to turn it into a gas, because then it has to be infused, and that's all on a unseen chemical basis.
I mean, but we do.
Yes, but not with the current day. Maybe.
Darren, do you, I know you got a wood smoker. Do you have yourself a gas smoker as well that maybe you could try this out with?
I'm not a scientist, but something tells me that if they've been turning liquids into gases and gases back into solids, no fucking problem, that they could figure this out. Just nobody wants to.
That's fair.
I bet they could do it.
So Stan now busting in.
He didn't hit a single thing. And there he goes. He popped.
A true stormtrooper.
So now Stan, of course, wakes up, tied up here, as I mentioned, and he's going to start getting interrogated by the rest of the members. Like, what's going on?
Sorry.
Playing with us. What's the secret behind Cartman Burger's amazing taste?
Dude, I don't know.
He's lying. You see this kid in the picture? This guy's his
best friend.
Oh, that's poor part.
I'm not friends with him.
They've been through everything together. Inseparable.
No, we don't hang out anymore.
Oh, right. Like someone would just walk away from a friendship like that.
Dude, I didn't walk away. I turned 10 and everything he wanted to do seemed shitty to me, so I...
Oh, sure. Anyone would ditch out on their best friend because they weren't feeling good. Now stop playing games and tell us why Cartman Burgers are so delicious.
Oh. It's so mean.
Stop playing games and tell him my Cartman Burger is so delicious. Okay, so here's Stan now approaching Kyle.
Kyle, you gotta tell me the secret to Cartman Burger. What are you doing? How do you guys make them so yummy? I don't know.
You better get him to tell you or you're getting shot in the back of the head.
Oh my God.
Dude, just tell me the secret to Cartman Burger. Why? So that we can lose our business and everything can go back to old times? No, because there's aliens with a sniper chicken on me. Oh, God.
Sniper
Look, I know
chicken.
you got
Makes
Asberger's
sense.
from the school, and I'm sorry, but your negativity is poison to me.
Poison.
Oh, right. Like a friend would walk out
Like
on somebody
that.
who's diagnosed with a serious illness.
Dude, I'm sorry that I've been bumming you out, but it's not my fault. You said fuck you to my face, Stan.
You said fuck you to my face, Stan. I mean, it's true, but it happens. You say fuck you to your friend's face. Fuck you, Dane.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess it was like more sincere. Maybe this had been a long time coming, but come on, Kyle, you're back with Cartman after all the shit he's done to you and said to you, but fucking Stan says "feck you" once to your face, and that's it.
I've literally had my best friend drunk tell me to go fuck myself, and then the next day I'd be like, "My bad, I was drunk." I'm like, "Dude, yeah, everybody was drunk. It's fine."
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. Sometimes alcohol,
me too. Yeah.
sometimes alcohol affects people differently. Me, it makes me more comedic and like, hey man, like you guys, I love you guys, blah blah blah. It makes some other people like more competitive and angry and let's fucking do it. You know what I mean? So you just gotta watch who you're getting drunk.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
You always think you're better than me just because you got the promotion and the big cock and the nice house, and you invite me over to your bonfire, but then again, I have to bring my own beer. It's bullshit, bro.
It's bullshit.
That was really specific. Anyway.
So here's now them invading because they're like, fuck this, we're tired of waiting.
You want to play hardball? That's fine. All right, let's see this mighty machine once and for all.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I get shot by all these Matrix people.
No.
Oh my god. All right, nice work, Stan. Now comes the final step. You have to take out Duck President.
What?
God. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's a very natural ramping up of things.
So it's at this point, Stan's like, you know what? I've had enough. Look, I understand what's going on. It's done. So from here on out, what we're going to do is this. Look, Kyle, you and Cartman go do your thing. Maybe I'll become friends with this person. Maybe we'll have a whole bunch of new adventures. It'll be great because it's new and it's not the same thing every week. So when you're watching this part here, when we initially did, we kind of got a little bit of impression for just a moment. Like, oh, wow, like maybe South Park's going to go in a different direction, right? Maybe they're going to, well, not over. I didn't think it was over. I just thought maybe they were going to go a different direction with the episodes and whatnot.
I see.
Like, you know, maybe have episodes where it's Stan and new people, and then there's Cartman Burger with Kyle and Cartman, blah, blah, blah. But they decide not to go in that direction. Randy comes back. We're getting back together.
Great.
No, Dad. Left turn. No, Mom. Left turn. And then, of course, we get some more Stevie Nicks, I believe, right? And then, well, you'll see what happens.
Just stop it. You people are so full of shit.
Uh-oh, looks like the serum is wearing off. Here, you better take some more.
Stan says no.
I'm done with that.
Ooh.
But Stan, you have to take down the bad guys and go through a personal transformation so that everything can go back to the way it was.
I don't want everything to go back to the way it was.
I don't want everything to go back to the way it was.
I don't.
So now Stan, this is about 2-3 minutes left, so we don't have to play the full speech here, but we'll play a little bit. Here's Stan talking about.
Me up to whole new adventures, exploring new relationships with all new people in town. Maybe this kid will become my new best friend. Or maybe this kid will. Wow. Maybe it won't be like before, but at least it'll all be new. And that's what's gonna make it so that I can keep going. For the first time in a long time, I'm really excited.
So like you kind of get the feeling here when you're listening to it, like this is Trey, right? Talking like I'm getting excited because we're going to start switching up the stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they pull the rug out from under us.
Stan!
Stan!
Get in the car, Stan! Mom and I will be together.
Wait. What?
We worked it out, pal. Surprise!
Surprise!
No, please.
We talked a lot, and you know what's best for you kids. And
No,
I don't
please.
know.
No, Mom, sometimes you got left turn.
Left turn.
People get older,
Left turn.
And as you get older, you realize the best thing to do is just stick with what you know.
Oh
no.
Oops.
Daily on affirmations.
Yeah.
So of course, turning this down here because we don't want to get copyrighted. We got Randy and Sharon now
I'm sucking her in.
moving in the furniture into the house. You see Randy, he's all excited, he's happy. Now they're back, Stan's back in his home. Now, of course, we hear this part, and Randy burns all of his Steamy Ray Vaughan gear stuff here. And then we see Stan out on a picnic with his girlfriend, Wendy. Stan now at dinner, still kind of sad with what's going on in life, you know. And nothing really worked out for him. You know what I mean? Like he didn't get to move on and try to become and grow because he's basically right back to where they started. And now we see how Stan though copes with it. Then we're going to get an influence. This is kind of a purview into, I'd say Stan as an adult, right? Because we found out in the pandemic special that Stan is kind of an online blogger, alcohol like taste tester, if you will. So, I mean, this is kind of foreshadowing his future career. So that way Stan can have some sort of normalcy.
It's called a smorgasbord and it's fancy.
And of course, his dad is an alcoholic. So that definitely probably played into that as well.
Oh, yeah. They have a whole episode discussing that grandpa to dad to Stan.
Exactly.
Big Harry and Mike in the morning. 2.5 men. I think could to be seen, Mike. Yeah, but what about that movie, Doll Patel? I am psyched for that. That's all Big Harry and Mike in the morning. Let's hear one from the band Sledgehammer. And there's some.
So, of course, he gets up.
Sledgehammer.
Dude, we're gonna go see the new Zookeeper movie. Zookeeper 2. Zookeeper.
And he's all like, great.
Zookeeper.
Okay, coming. Now, of course, for Stan to deal with this, he gets dressed. Right away. And then just as he's about to leave, he comes back and he's like, well, you know what? To get through this bull crap, I'm going to need to take a shot. So he pulls out a bottle of Jameson, takes a shot.
And it's just a sip. He does a quick sip and that's it.
That's it.
A lot of people are like that.
That's how he's going to get himself through.
A lot of people are like that.
Damn.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it on this side for this portion of the podcast recap. We'll be right back on the other side with more trivia, pop culture, and more. We'll be right back. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed. You'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review. What's up, guys? Once again, you're listening to SMB and South Park Review. Welcome back on the other side. Shout out to the sponsors. If you listen to the podcast version through Spreaker or any of our podcast catchers out there, thanks for checking out those sponsors. Thanks for hitting like and subscribe and being notified by hitting that little bell. You'll be notified when more content like this drops.
Ding dong.
Ding, motherfucking ding dong, ding dong. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I am not the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 South Park Trivia Champion. Okay, I am not a trivia god, but I'm going to do my darndest. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your trivia. Continuing, the story of You're Getting Old. This episode helped the show return to its roots, getting away from previous and far-fetched storylines and returning to a more grounded format, according to the critics. The phrase Asberger's is a well-known play on the name of the disorder Asperger syndrome, or Asberger. Stan's new room at his mother's place has a view of Whistling Willie's Pizza restaurant, of course, that is frequented by the children in previous episodes and more episodes to come. This episode satirizes the idea that immunizations can cause Asperger syndrome, including that Trey and Matt, fellow basketball star co-star Jenny McCarthy, has passionately pursued and even written a book about it. In this episode alone, Teresa is called Molly in this episode, despite being called Teresa in the list. Wendy complaining to Mr. Garrison about the girls being forced to get the HPV vaccine is a reference to the controversy, as I mentioned, surrounding the vaccine at the time, which protects against cervical cancer and genital warts. Some have argued that the vaccine may encourage sexual promiscuity, and as HPV is a sexually transmitted disease. And many schools have made it mandatory for girls as young as ages of 11 years old to get this injection. However, others have claimed that it has a serious side effect, including death. However, scientific evidence is clear. The vaccine saves lives, and doctors overwhelmingly recommended it. And as of 2021, 13 states plus the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico have made it mandatory for children attending public schools to receive said vaccine. Moving on. When Kyle and Wendy are talking about Stan's antisocial behavior, two creepy boys comment that they should just screw and get it over with. The conversation, of course, is parodying Fanon, which tends to dive deeper into characters' relationships. And in those relationships, these boys previously appeared in Dances with Smurfs, as well as there was the blonde kid was one of the first graders when the group heads to Wendy's house. Obama is shown replacing Duck President. Duck President may have been a pun on the term lame duck politician. Well, that makes more sense, actually, Dane. Lame duck politician, yeah.
I in the years I've been watching this, I've never understood that. Wow.
Lame duck politician, yeah. It's interesting. Very interesting. Moving forward here to wrap up the trivia here. The episode once again showcases Cartman's incredible prowess with his business and construction. He builds a hamburger stand, successfully hides a secret flavor enhancer, his ass, and is aware of the competition will stop at nothing to get it. We already mentioned all of the fast food restaurants, but once again, we had Taco Bell. Apparently, their compound was caffeine. Pizza Hut was chlorogenic acid. Burger King was benzene. KFC was retinol or vitamin A. Chick-fil-A was 4,3-ethyl benzyl phenyl methylene, a chemical valid structure that has never been studied nor found in nature. McDonald's was 4,3-ethyl methyl cluxyl or cyclohexyl methyl phenyl methyl bicyclo heptene methylone, a chemical structure that has never been studied nor found in nature. There was City Walk, which was sucrose. And I think that's kind of a play on trans fat foods, right?
Yeah.
Chinese food, MSG, and Subway, which was 3,0-formylquinic acid, a fragment of chlorogenic acid. Jesus.
Ah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is your trivia. And now,
quite literally a mouthful.
This guy likes to bring the pain in the digital marketing game. He's the guy that solicits those picks to get your clicks. Writer, producer, director, on-screen talent, Dane is going to read us some pop culture.
It's my favorite thing. References to pop culture in today's episode, which in French is not Asperger's, but is Asberger, which in French is translated diarrhea burger. That's not a pop culture reference. I just want to throw that in there. In the meeting where the fast food chain representatives discuss losing sales to Cartman Burger, the men represent real-life chains, as we have talked about, such as Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Subway, and KFC. Although City Walk is represented on the chart, City Walk's owner does not appear in the meeting. Strange. The crew at the Secret Society of Cynics bears a strong resemblance to characters from the Matrix trilogy, some of them being exact one-to-ones, like the Doctor, who is Morpheus. There's a guy with dreadlocks, the twins.
Yep.
Movie. Female, short black hair, of course, that's Trinity. And then, of course, the Bantu Knots is all Niobe. The morning radio show is a parody of a real-life FM radio comedy DJs popular in most parts of the USA. You know, there's Mike and the Mad Dog or Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Why is... Oh, okay, I have a bone to pick here. Why is Opie and Anthony listed? They are not like that at all. I was a big fan. I can't believe anymore. Anthony's weird. The advertisement for an unnamed show that Shelley is watching near the start of the episode bills itself as a combination of the television series Lost and the film franchise Jurassic Park. It was directed by J.J. Abrams, maybe. Landslide was written by Stevie Nicks while living in Colorado. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Sean Cartman is singing while making hamburgers is Heartlight by Neil Diamond. And as we all know, Cartman loves pop songs. The final morning radio show mentions 2.5 Men. Ashton Kutcher had recently taken the lead role in that show at this episode's debut. And last but not least, one of Randy Marshall's albums under his tween wave musical Steamy Rave On, called Slippery When Steamy, is a reference to the band Bon Jovi's album called Slippery When Wet.
Slippery when steamy. That's funny. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your pop culture.
That was steamy.
Darren.
That was extra steamy right there.
Darren loves it
the pop
steamy.
culture.
All right. Well, finally, here is some references to continuity. This is the first appearance of Miss Bronsky, the new school nurse. Of course, Nurse Golem's last appearance was 2 days before the day after tomorrow, where she's briefly seen running away, screaming. That conjoined dead fetus one you hanging off your side of your head, woman. Then at the end of the episode, Stan is seen using alcohol to see the world as he did before. In the episode, My Future Self and Me, Stan's fake future version of himself comes to visit as a drug addict and alcoholic to discourage him from going down that road.
Damn.
This alcoholic drink Stan is given to help him see the world is, of course, mentioned Jameson. They were first founded in 1780, which is the first real-life alcohol beverage shown in South Park for this episode. First time ever.
No.
Yep. First time they've actually ever shown name brand alcohol. Yep.
Not even like a PBR or something in there? Wow.
No. Not yet. That's not until I'm white trash and I'm in trouble. This is the second episode to contain the word ass in the title, the first being Aspen. Last two things. This is not the first time Cartman has tried to fake an illness, as we've done this, talked about these episodes in La Petite Tourette and Up the Down Steroid. Ooh. However, unlike the other times, this is the first time he has failed to convince anyone he actually has the illness.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Stan and Wendy reconcile the relationship for the second time, the first being it was in The List.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your continuity. That is your pop culture. And that is your trivia. Mr. Becker, as it overall, as a 2-episode arc, as of this episode, what did you find amusing? What did you find that you enjoyed? What did you like about this episode?
Almost a 3-episode arc. And honestly, the same thing that I said every other episode that I liked is going to be the final one that I say right now. This really felt personal to Trey. Because especially, we've talked about this ad nauseum, especially me, but once he gets to the pandemic era, you really feel him behind every little plot point there is. And there's been a lot of new South Park that has come from probably what he's experiencing, what he has experienced, what he's going through. And well, when you get to that age, son, you know, your dick don't work and you want to play war games. Like, how is that not Trey Parker during that time? But in this episode, it really felt like this happened. This is my conspiracy theory. Trey may have found out that he had Asperger's late, and maybe Matt and him were having some kind of divide because of his mental health. This all felt weirdly surreal and specific. And maybe it's just because I'm such a lifelong fanboy that I'm like so parasocial to Trey Parker at this point, which I am, that I basically think I know what he's thinking. But it felt really personal to him. It felt like a real story that had happened. Or at the most minimum, it felt like this is how they aged and this is what they went through. And even at the level that they've been creating, they still go through the same things we do once we get older. And this is just a part of that. But I don't think the solution is Jameson in your underwear drawer. That's just good.
Good points there. Deep there, Becker. Always with the insight. Always with the knowledge. Dane Becker. Darren, tell the viewers, what did you like about this episode?
Literally just butters at the beginning. That's it. That's my I usually have a more in-depth answer than that, but this episode, that's it. This episode got really serious. I got like sunk into the well, exactly what Dane was just talking about. He was like pouring himself out in parts of this whole season, really, but in this episode. But for comedy's sake, it just butters at the beginning. I'm gonna have burgers coming out of my butthole. That's so subtle. And then, so this actually episode kind of starts to die out halfway for me because a lot of my favorite stuff is very early in this episode. Butters and Mr. Mackey are my favorite, and then they kind of just like fall off the map a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, what I liked about this episode, I liked that we kind of got, Dane, you kind of pointed it out a little bit, just kind of an insight into the minds of Trey and Matt, maybe what they were feeling, at about 15 seasons into this show. Were they starting to feel like they were having to make up shit every week for the sake of making up shit versus making comedy for the love of it? Were they feeling a little bogged down, a little dragged down by the style of comedy? So maybe introducing more of this, arc style was going to be a little bit more fulfilling. So they kind of tease it there right at the end, but then they also kind of give you that, if you're that diehard South Park fan, hey, we're going to do these arcs, but also just know right at the end, it's all going to go right back to the end too. So like, we're going to do a little bit of both. We're going to eat some of our cake and we're going to eat it too. And you're going to eat it as well. Everyone's going to be happy. Right.
Ooh. Well, so this season came out at a really weird point for me for them to do that. And I think, so one of the reasons I almost tuned out during the season when they first aired it. And it's because I was just then at a point in my life where was like, all right, I just dealt with so much negative stuff. Right now is like the focus on the positive stuff. And then they hit me with this season and I'm like, fuck you guys.
It's too close. Yeah.
Putting a mirror in front of my face. But good writers. I mean, they'll do that.
Yeah, it's almost catharsis at the end. There's a comfortability because, like, as a viewer, South Park is changing, but for the characters, everything is changing, and they found some peace in that. But as the viewer, there's a catharsis in the thought that, oh, well, South Park is back, and it's the same thing I already like. So that translates to your life. There's a catharsis. There's like, oh, okay, so maybe it's fine if things are just crappy for a bit.
Their ability to do that is why they're still around after this time. Well, so me and Matt talked about, I think the other day, how they're kind of going to try to do the non-linear thing again and move that direction a little bit. And that's really refreshing for South Park fans.
Yeah.
They go back and forth between stuff like that, and then they get a little bit more linear, and they experimented with that for a while and then went all out with it and did it really well.
Yeah.
Now they're going to kind of do some different stuff.
Yeah, Trey,
that's why they're still alive and doing what they're doing. So
that's funny because Trey had commented once they started doing these like season long, especially character arcs with Garrison and the election and stuff. Trey was talking about how it just became old for him and Matt to like write those singular, almost Monster of the Week episodes, but with comedy. And then he really liked this, but it's funny now they're going back and it's like, okay, they just got $1 billion, so might as well fuck around.
Well, that's like a true artist's mind and heart. It's kind of a bounce back and forth. If you stay doing the same exact thing for too long, you'd get so bored and go nuts.
A lot of that in music. Tyler, the Creator, Kendrick, a lot of that in music, especially these days. A lot of people, even the old rockers, they go back.
And guys writing cartoons are no different. It's still like an artist's brain that works. They're going to continue to do different things, and that's why they're going to continue to have a massive fan base.
Yeah. Except Family Guy and The Simpsons. They keep doing the same thing, and it's awful, but for some reason.
Well, it's because, and also their writers started getting very, very invested in other projects and seem to focus on them. Whereas Trey Parker and Matt Stone, while they have other projects and have done them really well, seem to still be able to somehow focus on South Park enough to. That's something I don't even have an opinion on. I can't even explain how they can even do these other projects or work on a video game with a studio and still be able to put together
in the same positions too.
That's to me, they're kind of like wizards in our industry.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine being able to, the workload must be insane.
Yeah. I mean, the most that they've eased up on is they have an animation director, but they've had that forever. Eric Stow, their friend that was Butters is based on, has been their lead animation director forever, but now he's just an executive producer. But like they haven't changed. Their roles have always been the same. The best thing they've gotten is sometimes they'll invite other writers. They have Ann Garofino. They have that lady that did Hamlet 2. And then they had Bill Hader for a while. And I think obviously it's the season. Yeah, Bill Hader was a writer on South Park for like a little bit. And he actually voices one of the country guys with the britches. So I think this might have been the season, but writers for South Park, they just sit in the room, make jokes, but Trey still writes it, so it's insane. Yeah,
it has to be. I mean, you can tell with the writing styles. They change, but they're not enough for it to be like, hey, this isn't them anymore.
Yeah, it's all Trey's baby.
Yeah.
Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for another edition of SMB, a South Park review.
That's right.
We'll be back next week on The Last of the Mohicans. What happens when the boys decide to play cowboys versus immigrants? Butters has to become the savior for Mexico. We all didn't know that he was destined to be. It's coming up next week. Will Montequilla save us? Because all day long, Boss Man says, work, Mexican, work. While people play in the sun all day, work, Mexican work. It's coming up next week at another edition of SMV, a Southburger Review.